Everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have something special coming in on the rack. So once we get it in here, we'll show you what's going on. So hang tough, we'll be right back. Okay guys, here it is. '71 Camaro. We're going to put a gear vendors in it. Brad's diligently working on the adapter plate for the gear vendors here. So we've got the old tail shaft out, and we've got the gear vendors adapter in, and that's next. We have to now do the old measurement on here and shim this coupling. So that's going to be next. So you guys hang tough, and we'll be back when we Guys, we're back here, day 2. We've got all this in here cut out to clear the gear vendors overdrive, and now we're going to reinstall the tail shaft adapter, and we'll come back as soon as we get that done. So we've got this adapter on here.
Yeah, we're good.
And focus. If we put the 10 thou in there, you want to measure across with the face here, with the gasket on, with the straight edge, and you want to have, 10 thou. So what we had to do is we had to remove the adapter again, and we ground off a little bit on the tail shaft of the transmission, so we would have our 10 thou gap here without having to shim it. So just keep that in mind, guys. You might have to grind your tail shaft off a little bit so you get the proper clearance. So now we've got the proper clearance, and we can now hoist up the overdrive unit to see if it fits. We've clearanced all in here, and hopefully we've got enough room. If not, it may be beating the floor. We don't know yet. So we're going to attempt to drop this in, and if not, we can drop the transmission down just a little wee bit and take out a spacer here in the transmission. So we'll get this pushed up in here, and we'll be back in under here. So now we've got the overdrive unit in, and we are just tightening up, bang my head, we're just tightening up the bolts on the back of the unit there, and get those torqued to 8 to 10 foot-pounds, and then we'll measure for a drive shaft. We'll get the speedo cable that they supply in there. We'll wire up the solenoid. We'll get the car back on the ground. We'll get some of this stuff done. It's probably going to have to come up and down off the hoist a few times to get that done, but Brad's just tightening up the bolts on the overdrive unit. It fits
Tight.
very, very tight. So anybody with a second gen Camaro, you're going to have to cut this bracket out here in the floor, because you can barely get your finger in here, and you got to cut it like I showed before. You're going to have to cut it all the way around the top there to get that in, and that's one thing they don't really show you. And again, we've taken the output shaft in the transmission here, and we've ground it off enough so we had our 10 thou play. So that's done, and we will come back in a few. Okay guys, we have the speedo cable and the speedo pickup hooked up into here, and it's all tied up back into the frame. The gear vendors is in. We just have to put oil in it. The drive shaft is going to get made tonight, so we've got the joints and everything for it, and we've measured it. So we are ready now to put the car back down on the ground and wire up the electronics. Okay, we are back inside the car, and we've got the wires all ready to hook up. The red, green, the auto manual push button there, and the brain box over here. We've got the rest of the wiring down there somewhere. There, you can see it on the floor. We have that all shrinked and everything, and ends on it, and that's our main power cable in. So we've got to run all these, finish running all these wires. We'll hang everything up. We'll tidy all this up once we get it going. And I'll get you back underneath the car here in a second, and I'll show you what we've got going on underneath there now. Under here now, we have that solenoid wired up, okay? And we have got the speed sensor, you can see, wired up in there. It'll just focus. Yeah, the speed sensor's wired up in there. And we've zip tied and cleaned up all the connections there, and P-clipped the stuff to the bottom of the car, and then we've run the wires back up. It's kind of hard to tell, but we've run the wires back up there and followed the speedometer cable all the way back up into the interior of the car. So that's what we've got done now. And again, we've got the stuff. We just got to finish some of the stuff in the interior. We got to wire up sorry guys, we got to wire up the ground and the hot and the floor switch for the dimmer that switches it on and off manually. And we just got to get the drive shaft done. So the drive shaft's going over to a guy's place, machine shop tonight, and we're going to get that done and get that in first thing in the morning. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. See you guys later. For the 71 Nova.
I could do this a different way, but I'm not doing it. Well, there's two different ways of doing this. I could have just cut it, grabbed shit, did it, but I might still. We'll see how this dials in quick here. Because I have to scribe it or use a level.
So you just got to keep going around and adjusting it
Yep.
till you get it square.
Yep.
Till that micrometer doesn't move much.
Much, yeah.
Move a little bit, but not much. Okay, we'll bring you guys back once we get this thing spinning.
Let's see if you had your glasses on.
Yep.
This shit can fly a long way.
Loose.
Yep, out it comes. Done like
Wow.
dinner.
Oh, that's gonna go really fast.
Oh, all the doodads on
fucking
here.
walk it across the... Get it vibrating and walk it across the shop.
drive shaft. And then we'll be changing the U-joints. Done
nice.
like dinner.
Those for pump spacers for packing glands?
Yes. Yeah, they're lantern ring. For a mosaic with 43 of them to do.
I haven't forgotten everything from being out the house. Could've thought that's what they were.
It's a bigger pumps than you're used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see there that pump house down here. It's getting replaced.
Oh.
And they're moving that big grit building that's up on top of the hill at the plant.
Put a lot of length in that car with that adapter and that overdrive unit.
The worst part was cutting the brace off. You have to trim the body brace out
Oh,
under the tunnel.
yeah,
And that shit's thick steel.
yeah.
And there's no room to work. That took us, what, 2.5 hours last night?
Well, a couple hours, yeah.
Better than 2.5 days.
She was side grinder city.
I looked like a black man.
Uh-huh.
My arms are black. My head, top of my head, totally black.
There. One end done.
The grease 13 and we're laughing.
Yep.
I'm just making sure that's it.
Yeah. Here we go. Now we got a finished driveline to take back to the Camaro. So we'll get this on tomorrow. We're back under the car again. We now have the driveline put in it. Oil is in the overdrive, drive shaft, joints, all lubed up. Everything's all attached. So now we're going to let the car down and finish up the rest of the wiring and hopefully take it for a test drive. So we'll be back. Back it out here. Now we're backing her out and we're going to take the car for a test drive. Okay, I'll get in the other side.
I didn't let it sit there. You're supposed to let it sit 15 seconds or whatever.
Oh, to let it purge itself.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to take the gear vendors for a drive. We have a good light on the dash there. We got to drive it a mile before it goes anywhere. I hear no drive shaft knocking. I hear no grinding underneath.
Everything's good so far.
So everything looks good so far.
One thing with the exhaust is shooting down all the time.
Yeah, it makes a lot of dust.
Oh, dusty.
Mine kind of shoots kind of that way too, but not as bad.
Some big holes in here.
Oh, there's terrible holes. The city needs to come by and fix this this alley. That's why this video is going to be awful bouncy, guys, because my arms don't have stabilization in them.
Oh, my car dirty.
What's that?
My car is filthy.
Yeah. second gear.
It's in second right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a little tour here before we go on the highway and make it kick in. Just make sure we get that mile in, right?
Yep.
It's not supposed to kick into about 45. So look at this temperature gauge and look at that one. Now that's not bad.
That's your temperature right here.
Yeah.
And then this one here. Yeah, this one might be a little off. This one's probably right on the money.
Well, and they kind of even out after a while. eh?
Okay.
That's,
We're on these ugly city streets. That's pretty stiff suspension.
I'd like to. Maybe I got to get just a little bit bigger coilovers for this on the front. I don't know.
They're adjustable, are they not?
Yeah.
Isn't the shock rate adjustable?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I never looked, actually.
I don't see any.
Oh, so if your shock rate's not adjustable, you can't adjust the shock rate.
Oh,
See, the QA ones I've got, I can adjust the shock rate.
I'm thinking I'd like to.
It doesn't
180.
take long for this engine to come up to temp, does it?
No, I think I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna get one of those fail-safe ones because they got the
Right.
hole in them. 20 mile an hour.
So we're doing 70 miles an hour, 2480 RPM, and the green light's on, which means it's into overdrive. It went into overdrive really smooth. So we'll get her back home and we'll check a few temperatures, we'll check a few things, and then we will close out the video. Back down out of overdrive now, and we'll kind of watch this thing do its thing. Once we get to roughly 47 miles an hour, it'll kick into overdrive. We'll see that little green light come on. There we go. We're in overdrive now.
And it just went into third gear.
And into third gear. Seems to work fine, boys. Successful drive with the gear vendors overdrive in here. It shifts fine. We have no leaks. The car's running perfect. So again, Brad was over this this week and we got this thing in the car. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. There's some tips and tricks in here that help you guys get these installed. Don't take our word as gospel on this thing. Make sure you read the instructions. Call gear vendors if you have any questions because they get back to you right away.
Yeah, they got within 5 minutes. Yeah, they got back to us. So
we had a couple of questions on the dimmer switch and a couple other things on the transmission adapter. We had a couple of deals there going on. We phoned them. They phoned us back within 5 minutes. We got the answers. So if you guys have any trouble or questions, definitely give gear vendors a call. We're going to give them a thumbs up on this deal. It works good. And Brad,
thank you very much, Mike.
thanks for participating in the Quebec Garage installation of this gear vendors overdrive. And make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and tune in for the next one. And we'll see you later. Bye.